Hi guys, Dr. Corbin Pominville here. You're here because you're in pain and you haven't been able to solve it yet. This is because you haven't found the root cause of your pain. Pain is our body's way of saying there's a problem here. Almost always, if pain doesn't go away, it's because there's continued pressure on that area or compression on that area, that tissue. And that tissue in your body isn't allowed to heal up and feel better and less inflamed the way it should. So I put together a video with some explanations on the anatomy and what may be causing your pain to last longer than you'd like it to. Really hope this helps and gets you back to moving better, feeling younger, and being yourself again.
Hi guys, Dr. Corbin Pominville here. I'm back with our fourth anatomy series on elbow and hand pain. This is very common in people who are active. Maybe you weightlift or you play sports, or maybe you're just a regular guy and you're getting some elbow or hand pain. So I want to explain what's going on in your body and give you some answers as to why you are having this pain. So first, let's talk about what actually may be causing this pain. Number one is repetitive work, sports, exercise, or other activities. So our bodies can withstand quite a bit of activity, but if we aren't doing it with proper form, things can start to break down. If our joints aren't in the exact alignment that they need to be while we're completing activity, then this can cause problems over time. Number two is a traumatic event. So this would be pretty obvious. Could be injury when you were lifting or some sort of sport injury. Number three is posture. So oftentimes, elbow and hand pain, especially if it lasts a long time, is due to our everyday habits. This could be the way that we're sitting, the way that we're sleeping, the way that we are exercising. So we need to be very aware of this. Even if our posture is 90% correct, that 10% is what can make all the difference. So let's get into the anatomy here. So you're here because you're having elbow or hand pain. It may even be going into the shoulder or the neck. Eventually it will if you don't get it fixed now. That's kind of how it works. It'll start to travel. It could be muscular, nerves, ligaments, or tendons affected here. So there's a lot going on anatomy-wise. So let's get into the anatomy here. We'll look at the elbow first. We have muscles that could be affected. So we have the flexors in here. These flex the wrist. As you can see, they cross over the wrist down here, and they help to flex it. So if we are doing repetitive flexing of the wrist, bending of the wrist, with improper form, over time, these muscles can start to break down and just become inflamed and bothered. This can happen with golf. This is a common area for golfers to feel pain. We also have the extensors out this way. So we have all of these extensors kind of going from all the way down, and this can be affected in tennis because if you imagine what the wrist does in tennis, you do a lot of extending of the wrist. So those can get bothered. We also, in the elbow, have different nerves and things like that. So what we can do, go ahead and add the nerves in. We have a ton of nerves that are coming all the way from the neck all the way down into the wrist. So if these nerves get squished or compressed at any point down the track, it can affect it even later on. So you could have nerves getting compressed up in your neck, and that could actually cause pain in the hand. So even something like carpal tunnel, where you're getting pain in the hand, could be coming from the neck because we have all these nerves that come all the way down. There's nerves in the elbow as well, all the way down. So that could be one of the things that is bothered. Another thing that could be bothered is the joints. So the joints could be too tight, and we have all of this connective tissue around the joint. So here's the connective tissue around the elbow, and in the wrist, connective tissue. So if that is too tight, it can cause pain because it can compress nerves, muscles, tendons, things like that. So let's get into the three anatomical reasons why you may have elbow or hand pain. Number one, the muscles may be too tight. So you can have muscles all the way up here. Let's say this muscle is tight right here. As you can see, this muscle crosses over these nerves that are coming all the way down. So if it's too tight, that can cause compression. It can cause pain in the elbow, even in the hand. Or something like the biceps maybe could be too tight, causing compression on the nerves under it. Number two, the bones may be too tight, and we kind of talked about this with the capsule. So we have the capsule here and here. And if these are too tight, we have nerves around them, and especially down here. This is carpal tunnel nerve right down here. If this capsule is too tight, it can definitely squeeze the nerve and cause pain, up or down the arm. Number 3, the muscles may be weak or not activating properly. So, you might be saying, I exercise, my muscles are not weak. Some of the muscles may be strong, but maybe your stabilizer muscles are weak. So things like these elbow muscles. If these muscles are weak, but still being used in a sport like golf, tennis, maybe you're lifting weights, your body's going to figure out how to do it, but eventually those muscles are going to get overworked because they are not strong enough. So that could be it. And we don't think to train these muscles in the arm. Could have a muscle like this be weak. This muscle stabilizes the elbow. As you can see, it kind of crosses over, and it's a bigger muscle. So if that one's weak, then the elbow might be unstable and cause some pain. We also have muscles, believe it or not, in the back, like the lower traps and the rhomboids, that keep your shoulders in the right position. So like we talked about with these nerves, if the shoulder is not in the right position, like this, and you're slumped, then that can cause compression on these nerves, which can affect your elbow or your wrist. So it's important to understand that we may need flexibility in one area, we may need stability in another area. Everyone is unique, and it just depends on the person. Your pain in your elbow, hand, or wrist may be different than someone else's pain and what's causing it. So I can't give you an exact formula today on how to solve your pain without actually taking a look at it. As you guys know, Better Life Health and Wellness specializes in orthopedics. We've seen a lot of elbows and hands. Right now, we're running a free Total Body Diagnostic Visit where you can, we'll look at your whole body. We'll take an in-depth look at your hand, at your elbow, at your shoulder, even at your neck. Look at the whole area and make sure we know exactly what's going on. Then we'll use hands-on therapy techniques to decrease your pain and loosen you up where you need to be loosened up, and strengthen using muscle activation techniques in order to stabilize you and keep you in the position that you need to be in. We'll take a look at your form, your posture, all of that good stuff. Feel free to message us on social media. You can call or text us, or you can submit a contact form on the website. Again, I'm Dr. Corbin Pominville, and thank you for tuning in.